Season 2 of Ginny and Georgia is finally available on Netflix. There was a ton of drama, mystery, and humor in this season. But the way the season ended still baffles us. Although we were aware that the second season might end in the manner it did, we were still unprepared. We definitely need a third season of Ginny and Georgia, because the Season 2 finale leaves us on a shocking cliffhanger. We're about to discuss Season 2 spoilers for Ginny and Georgia. More specifically, the ending of Season 2. Ginny and Georgia's Season 2 final episode opens with Georgia explaining how pain alters people. She doesn't want her kids to grow accustomed to the trauma. Maxine consoles Ginny about her breakup with Marcus at school. Together with her friends, Ginny declares that guys are stupid. Gil makes an unexpected attempt to talk to Austin at school. Austin doesn't want to interact with him. Gil threatens Georgia, saying that if he cannot see her on, he would make her life miserable. Georgia is seen in flashbacks brandishing a gun at Gil, but he snatches it away from her. At Joe's restaurant, Sophie and Maxine reconnect. She tells Sophie that she has missed her. She acknowledges that because it was difficult to see her, she was harsh with her. Having broken up with Josh, Sophie says she hopes to become friends with Maxine. Maxine informs her that she likes someone else since she is perplexed. To help Ginny deal with her heartbreak, Maxine wants to take her out with her friends. Ginny is reassured by her that she had nothing to do with the breakup and that Marcus experiences melancholy spells. Marcus is back on medication, she says. Ginny was unaware of this. Georgia begins preparing her belongings for when Ginny and Max leave. In a flashback, Georgia robs Gil of money, which causes Gil to be detained. Rewinding to the present, Ginny enjoys a drink with her pals. Marcus locates them and asks about Ginny's whereabouts. Hunter asks Marcus why he dumped Ginny. He seemed irritated that he injured her. Maxine then drives a buzzed Marcus home. Ginny, in the meantime, calls the venue to inquire about Georgia and Paul's wedding since she has a suspicion. She finds out that it has been postponed. Georgia and Marcus have a conversation outside. He inquires about Ginny while they share a joint. Georgia tells Marcus that he went above and above to make her daughter feel protected. She appreciates what he offered her. She finds it admirable that he released her in order to cease torturing her. Marcus pretends to slice someone's neck as Georgia walks away while announcing that he won't reveal their secret to anyone. Marcus, being aware that Georgia is a murderer, worries Georgia. Ginny confronts Georgia when she gets home about calling off the wedding. Georgia informs her that they must leave the city. Ginny tries to find a way to stay and inquires about Georgia's fears. Georgia becomes enraged and calls Ginny a liar before mockingly thanking Ginny for revealing her ex-terrible boyfriend's secret. Love for Paul is insufficient in her eyes, and she has little faith in happiness. Ginny instructs Georgia to tell Paul about her history, apart from the murdering parts. She feels that her mother should stay here. Georgia then takes Paul down and tells him everything about her background, including fraud, embezzlement, theft from her place of employment, shoplifting, a motorcycle gang, and a private investigator who is looking into her. She informs Paul that Gil is extorting money from her and reveals how Austin shot Gil in the arm. Paul decides to leave since he feels shocked. George's kids are sitting on the stairs watching him as he goes. In Marcus' bedroom, Ginny pays a visit. She explains to Marcus that she is aware the breakup was not a reflection on her. Ginny says to Marcus that she wants to be friends with him whether they are together or not. They begin talking like bros when she soothes him in bed, which makes them both giggle like they are best buddies. Paul requests that Georgia meet him at work the following day. She is unsure if it's a plot to have her arrested, but she feels compelled to go. There are a police officer and an attorney there when she arrives. Paul invites her to have a seat. Gil then enters the office, unaware of what is happening. Paul warns Gil that his actions constitute harassment, and that if his parole officer finds out, he would be sent back to prison. He emphasizes that he won't receive any payment from him before or after getting hitched. This demonstrates Paul's intention to stick with Georgia. Gil mentions a custody dispute, but Paul is ready with a family lawyer. He is informed by Paul that if he wishes to communicate with his stepson or talk to his wife, he must do so through him. Paul confesses to Georgia that he is still upset with her, but is powerless to leave her. The couple shares a passionate kiss while proclaiming their unity. Georgia is happy to be going back home. Paul still wants to be married. She informs Ginny. All Ginny needs, she tells Georgia, is a place to get married. The wedding then happens. Ginny and Georgia are picked up by a horse-drawn carriage. Prior to the nuptials, however, private investigator Gabriel tells Nick the truth, revealing that his real name is Gabriel and that he isn't actually Jesse. He says that he was employed to investigate Georgia. Nick feels frustrated and bewildered by the lie about their connection. He queries Gabriel on his possible love for him. Nick is informed by Gabriel that he must know everything and that he is sorry. Paul is astounded by Georgia's attractiveness when she shows up at the altar. It's a lovely moment. Georgia is loved without condition by Paul. Ginny describes how fortunate she is to have experienced unconditional love firsthand through her mother's devotion. The most potent force, in her opinion, is Georgia Miller's love. Ginny reveals to Georgia at the wedding reception how she was able to book the location for her by making some phone calls. Marcus and Joe, who cannot stand to see Ginny and Georgia, are forced to watch the wedding from the lobby as it is happening. Joe is informed by Marcus that she enjoys seeing Ginny smile. Finally, just in time for the first dance, both guys muster the bravery to enter the festivities. Joe watches as Georgia and Paul perform the first dance. Georgia describes how her daughter, Ginny, is the best and that she is superior to her. She argues that being happy is the most terrifying state to be in. Unfortunately, Georgia's joy is short-lived because of the wonderful cliffhanger that comes with the Ginny and Georgia surprise in the Season 2 final. Georgia is taken into custody for the murder of Tom Fuller when Gabriel enters the room with the police. Paul promises to find her an attorney. It appears that Georgia's happy ending will not occur after all. Austin, who was shocked to witness Georgia murder Cynthia's husband, tells Ginny that he did not inform anyone about what he saw. Ginny and Georgia's Season 2 Episode 10 gives us all the happy ending we were hoping for, but the cliffhanger is less than satisfactory.